Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. I say that as I laugh because we are starting the declutter series, and I started with eyeshadow palettes. It is the biggest part of my collection, so I usually try and get that part done because then it seems like everything else kind of goes a little bit quicker. And I will say, I'm not going to tell you that I'm limiting this to under 2 hours because that never seems to be the case. I couldn't tell you how long this video is going to be. I know I recorded over the last 2 days and I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I'll tell you, starting out, we have 396 palettes to go through. So that is our starting point. You have to wait till the end to find out how many I get rid of and declutter and give on to my friends. Now, I will say, please don't ask for any of my used makeup in the comments section because I'm not going to give away used makeup to any of my subscribers or viewers, only because I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I've tried donating in the past, but when everything happened with COVID, a lot of organizations weren't receiving used makeup. Now, my friends that are close to me that are living in the area, they will actually go through my makeup and we kind of hash out what they all want. So I do give it to my friends and those that are in the area. So please, please, please do not ask for it in the comment section. I will also ask to be nice about some of the brands that we discuss, and I talk about it when I get to those brands. Not everyone shares the same opinions about the creators of the makeup that I review or have in my collection, and I paid for this with my own money. I haven't been sent a lot of anything for free, so everything that I own is things that I purchased. Just be kind to each other. This is not a place to be hateful. I do reserve the right to delete your comments if you're rude to people. With that being said though, if you love makeup, if you enjoy seeing what everyone has in their collections, this is definitely one of those big videos. And it is hard to get rid of makeup that I have had for quite some time, including those that have sentimental value. So I tried my hardest. We did get rid of some makeup. There is definitely some in a bin for my friends to go through. Now, before we jump into this video and see what I get rid of, make sure to subscribe if you're new here, hit the bell for notifications of new videos. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, we did start on eyeshadows. There is still the rest of my collection: blushes, bronzers, highlighters, lipsticks, all of it. So there'll be more to this series, so definitely stay tuned and follow if you like those declutter series. But if you want to see what I got rid of in my collection and what I kept, just keep watching. Okay, you guys, we're going to try something a little bit different with this declutter. So last year I had us on my table that I use for filming, and I went item by item, brand by brand. This time I think we're going to go drawer by drawer. So I have just a mix of different brands, and I even have stuff that's not in drawers because I've just ran out of room. So I know that one of my subscribers had recommended a bookshelf, which after the first year, I'm going to start looking at how to reorganize my filming room, but I have vacation coming up and I just don't have the time. As for right now, I want to go through here, kind of declutter some of my eyeshadow palettes. It may not be a whole lot, but it's going to be something. So this first drawer, we have some Patrick Starr, Kylie, Pat McGrath. It's a good spot to start. Now, I will say this, and I get a lot of hate comments for Jeffree Star or other brands. This is a place of to each their own. Please don't put hateful comments on there. I reserve the right to delete them, and just, we're all here for the makeup. No matter what the brand or the person has done, I have spent my money on these eyeshadow palettes or the makeup that I have in my collection, and I choose to do with it what I want. Thank you. This is the Bloodlust from Jeffree Star. This packaging, beautiful. The color story is absolutely stunning. I love the formula that Jeffree Star has. You cannot deny how amazing the formula is. So I will be keeping this. I do love the shades that are in here. The Alien palette, I have talked about how I do not like the packaging for this. Like the eyes are just, it's weird. It's hard to store. It takes up some interesting space. But the color story, I love the grungy colors. I do love the dark shades that are in here, some of the neutrals. So I'm going to keep this as well. I don't remember the name of this palette, but I know that it is all darker shades, grays, and the shimmers in here are absolutely stunning. If I ever want a smoky eye, like this is a palette to reach for. So the Orgy palette, very interesting cover art. I do like the neutral shades. This is an all matte palette, so if you need browns, neutral shades, you've got all of them. I'd be stupid to throw this away because I do reach for a lot of brown shades for my everyday work look. The Conspiracy palette, the trunks are interesting. I do like them, but the weird shapes, it just makes it hard to store. So when I do have a bookshelf or however I decide to store them in the future, I'm gonna have to find an interesting way to store these as well. But the color story is phenomenal. I love the shades in here. I don't reach for this nearly enough, but I think one of my New Year's resolutions is to absolutely shop my stash more and play with makeup that I haven't touched in a minute. Then we have Blood Sugar. This is my everyday like neutral aesthetic. I use this so much for work, mostly these shades right here. So I'll keep that for right now. I don't reach for a lot of the other reds, but we'll see. Somewhere my camera stopped recording and I think we're starting with Blue Blood. This one is super cute. I like the color story, but I don't think I've ever used it. I'm gonna keep it for now because maybe I'll reach for it this year. And if not, maybe I'll pass it on. I haven't decided. Blood Money, this trunk actually has a different type of clasp for opening. I know I've played around with this a little bit, did a green look with it. I do want to keep it and play around with it some more. I love the grungy greens. So this will stay for right now. These ones from Pat McGrath, these were some of my first ones that I purchased because let's just face it, Pat McGrath Labs is kind of expensive, but the quality you cannot deny. This is the Sublime palette, and I love the shimmers that are in here. These are more neutral, and then you have Subversive. This one is more of like the deeper royal shades for shimmers. So I'm going to keep both of those as well. All right, so we're on to Kylie. And I think I'm actually missing a couple Jeffree Star ones because I know there's a neutral like shimmer palette, but we'll just keep on keeping on. This one from Kylie. This was one of her first palettes that I picked up. I love this palette and I got a lot of use out of it, but I have these neutral shades in other palettes, so I am going to pass this on. I'm sure there's a friend that would probably get some good use out of it. This Kylie palette was one of her birthday releases. This one is really pretty. I love the brown shades. The pressed glitters are really pretty, so I'm going to keep this one for right now. The Kendall by Kylie Cosmetics. This one is neutral with some pops of color. I do like the shimmers that are in here, keeping it for now. This was one of the holiday releases, very cool toned. I do like the purples in here and the pressed shimmer. This was the other one that was released with it, more of the neutral browns. I like these for travel because if I only just want a couple shades and maybe to take to work, especially the browns, this one is perfect for that. The Stormy palette, I've swatched it. I don't think I've actually used it. I will try it out because this purple looks really pretty and same with this pink, but I do want to keep these for now. The Cocoa by Kylie, same thing, neutrals. I am a neutral girl because I need them for work, so I keep a lot of my neutral palettes just because I do like to switch it up, and these are more brown tone but sometimes have pinky undertones, which I prefer, so I'll keep this for right now. Kylie X Bellman, love this. You got some neutral shades, you've got some really pretty shimmers. I do like that there's more shimmers than matte shades, but there's also not like a deep dark brown, which I gravitate towards. I do think this would be really interesting with some of the other shades. So for right now, I'll keep it. This was another birthday release from Kylie. I love the cover art for it. It is super cute. But inside you have the neutral shades. You've got some really pretty shimmers that are just a little bit darker than you would expect. Absolutely love this palette. I do reach for it a lot. It has a lot of love in the neutral shades. The Kylie X Grinch. This one will absolutely be staying because I love the Grinch and absolutely got some neutral shades in here. Some of these have interesting shifts between like pink and green. So I'll be keeping this for right now. You're So Money Baby. This was one of her birthday releases as well. Very pink toned. Love the pink shimmers. Love the green pops. So I'll be keeping that one. Kylie and Nightmare on Elm Street. This was not something I was expecting, but I do really like it, and I love the red shades in here. I'm torn because I know I've got the neutral shades, but I really like the burgundies and reds in here. So for now, I'm keeping it. I know I didn't declutter a lot out of this drawer, but we did get rid of one palette so far. Okay, you guys, now we're into ColourPop, Juvia's Place, Beauty Bay, and a smattering of other ones. So we'll start right here. So this one from ColourPop is the Secret Admirer. As pretty as it is, I don't know that I'm going to keep it. I got this in February. I never ended up playing around with it, but the shades just, they're a little bit darker than I want, and I've kept them in other palettes. So I'm going to end up getting rid of this one. The NYX Ultimate. This one is stunning. I've never played with it. There are some really pretty shades in here, but I know that I've got a friend out there that would probably gravitate towards this, especially like the purples and the pinks. So I'm going to pass this one on. The Nubian from Juvia's Place. I love this color story, but I know that I have the bigger palette of this, so this one I'm going to pass on as well. Jouer French Riviera. I really like this palette, but I just don't reach for it, and the pastel shades in here, as much as I like them, I have other pastel shades in other palettes that I like more, like the Natasha Denona one that just came out. So I'm going to get rid of this one as well. The Pure Be Your Selfie. This one is really pretty. I just don't reach for it. The shimmers are really pretty, but I have other shimmers in other palettes that I like more. So I'm going to get rid of this one as well. Here's the Jeffree Star mini palettes that I knew that I had somewhere. This is the Mini Orgy. I do like the neutral all shimmer palette. I know that it's not realistic if you like matte shades, but the two palettes are meant to go together, so I'm going to keep this one for now. The Mini Breaker. This one is very vibrant and pretty. I don't know that I'm going to reach for this, and I have these shades in other palettes, I'm sure. So I'm going to get rid of the Mini Breaker. The Mini Controversy. Really love this. Thought I was going to get a lot of use out of it. I just have not reached for it. And this isn't really a cohesive palette for me. So I'm going to get rid of this one as well. Wow, you guys, we're doing pretty good in this drawer. The Juvia's Place Rebel Grays. Really like this. I just don't know that I will reach for this quad as much as I will other palettes. So I think I'm going to get rid of the Rebel Grays. The Rebel Honey. Love the color story. I just don't know that I'm going to reach for this because I also have the Huda Beauty ones, and she has a palette that is predominantly this color story, so I'm going to get rid of this one as well. The Rebel Army, and look at the artwork. It's stunning. I love Juvia's Place artwork. This palette, also same thing. I never ended up playing around with it or swatching it, so these are going to get rehomed. The Rebel Mints. This one I did do a video with, and I swatched the shimmers. This one I will keep. I love the mint shades. Formula Z Cosmic Glitz. I don't remember where I got this. Was this given to me by a friend? I think it was. I'm going to keep this one. I love the shades that are in here. Absolutely stunning. I need to reach for this one. Milani Gilded Flora. This is such a stunning, affordable palette. I'm going to keep this one. Yes, I know I have these shades in other palettes, but when I do makeup with affordable brands or an all affordable brand video, I still need to have options. So I'm going to keep this one. Ather Beauty. This is the Desert Sunset palette. I like this palette. I just don't know that I reach for it. I love the coral shade right here, but I don't know that it's something that I will reach for that often, so I'm going to pass this one on. Baby Got Peach from ColourPop. This palette is so cute. I do like the peachy shades, and I love the pressed glitters. I'm going to keep this one. Main Squeeze from ColourPop. This was one of their watermelon releases. Love these shades. I probably won't get rid of a lot of my ColourPop ones, but this one, keeping. The Ooh La La. Yep, love the hot pinks in here. Gonna keep that one as well. Okay, you guys, Going Coconuts. This one, love this story. I need to play with it more. Absolutely love this for work. This one, Cocoa Crush, is one of my favorite shades in this palette. I don't know if you can tell. Brown Sugar. This one, I love the dark, deep shades in here. Shimmers are really pretty. I'm gonna keep this one for right now. Smoke Show. I don't think I've actually used this one. Oh, I have. I really love this glittery black in here, and then you have a flat black. Perfect. I love a beautiful smoky eye. Lilac You a Lot. I really like this purple, and these shimmers are stunning. Gonna keep this one as well. Wild Child. Oh no, they're both very deep dark shades. Let me see. I'm gonna compare this to Brown Sugar. Okay, I think I'm gonna get rid of Brown Sugar and I'm gonna keep Wild Child just because I like the pressed glitter, and this, they're very similar. So Brown Sugar is gonna go to someone else and I'm gonna keep Wild Child. See, I need to do that more often. ColourPop It's My Pleasure, also very purple. Let's see, where's Lilac You a Lot? Okay, so these two are very different. Just because these are darker, these are lighter. These two look very similar, but I can see the bluish teal flakes in this. And then even this shimmer is different because it's not in this palette. So I'm gonna keep both of these. The Soul Palette, I love this. See, I just got rid of the Juvia's Place orange one, which was a quad. This has beautiful tangerines. Love this, I'm gonna keep it. All right, Too Faced I Want Candy. This one is sentimental. It was one of my first Too Faced palettes. I still have the inner container of it, or I have the inner sheet for it. It used to be scented. It doesn't have a scent now, but I just can't part with it. And I feel like the neutral shades, I still can get some use out of it. I do want to play around with it, maybe like shop my stash with it and see if they still have that good color payoff. But for right now, it's going to stay in my collection because it is sentimental to me. Too Faced Pretty Rich. This palette, I love this. First off, look at how thick it is. I'm not traveling with this. No one in their right mind would travel with this. But the color story is beautiful. Neutral shades, really pretty pressed glitters. I love each of the rows. I'm gonna keep this. This should be like a display piece. The Pure and Barbie collab, this one, if you can see, it's actually got stones and like shells on here. It is stunning. And it has the most beautiful scent in here, but I love the shimmers in here. This pressed glitter is stunning, so I am gonna hold on to this. The Pure Festival, love the shades in here, some really pretty shimmers, beautiful mattes. I love this shade right here. I need to play around with some more of my palettes this year. Maybe we'll go into like a low buy 2023 and shop my stash more. I say that, and yet I'll probably buy quite a bit. Okay, Juvia's Place blush palette. Love Juvia's Place, and the quality, these shimmers are stunning. It doesn't even look like I used the mattes, but I know that I did. I did a video with this. I think I did both of these as a video and did 2 different looks, because then we also have the Bronzed Rustic. Look at that color story. Stunning. I'm going to keep both of these. The Taupes by Juvia's. I love a good cool tone palette. And I know I've used these, but it looks like I haven't touched the palette. Vanessa X Juvia's Place. This one I don't think I ever used. I purchased it. I had every intention. This shade is stunning. So I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to make a better effort of actually using all my palettes this year. The Chocolates by Juvia's. This I used, I want to say for my birthday 2 years ago. I love the deep, dark, rich shades. An absolutely stunning smoky eye. Just so luxurious on the eyes. Sweet Pinks by Juvia's. You guys, you know I'm not getting rid of this. Look at these shades. Stunning. Then we have the Berries. Also, same, not getting rid of this one either. There's just some palettes that I just cannot part with because I know the quality of the eyeshadows are amazing. The Violets by Juvia's, also stunning color story, keeping. I love Ice. This also, that pressed glitter, phenomenal. I cannot get over this palette. I did have to work a little bit with it. This shade is really stunning. This one is a little too light, but these blues, stunning. I Love. This is really pretty as well. These teal shades, absolutely stunning. I didn't get to use this pressed glitter, but I want to play around with it some more. The Cliena Cosmetics and Emily Violet Marie Dragon Fruit palette. This palette is absolutely stunning. It is all shimmers, but it is beautiful, and I will be keeping this. The Hip Dot Clueless. As beautiful as this palette is and as like reminiscent of my high school days, it's so soft and fuzzy too. I have these shades in other palettes, so I'm gonna end up passing this on. The Hip Dot Cenote. This palette is really pretty, and I love the deep dark teal shades. I need to play around with this. I've had this for quite some time, but I do want to play around and try it. Okay, such an affordable brand. This is Beauty Bay. This is the Wilderness palette. Absolutely love their eyeshadows. Like 20 bucks for 20 shades. You cannot beat that. And the quality of their eyeshadows, this is the Age of Opulence. Look at that color story. Look at those shimmers. New Romantic, if you want a red, pink, burgundy type of palette, this is it. Okay, this one from Lethal. This is the Nightflower Pressed Powder palette from Lethal. I love these shades, and Lethal has such quality eyeshadows. So I'm gonna keep that one. Fall Magic from Alien Cosmetics, and I don't think they're called Alien Cosmetics anymore. I have to look. I'm pretty sure they renamed. But this palette is really beautiful, especially in the fall. I should have reached for this during the fall time, but I didn't even think about it. I really do need to get a bookshelf or something where I can actually see all of my palettes because this drawer system is driving me nuts. The Wet n Wild Cotton Candy Clouds Little Twin Stars. This palette is super cute and I so want to keep it, but the pressed glitters are really the only reason I would keep it, and I have these shades in glitter gels from ColourPop, so I'm going to pass this on. BH Cosmetics Aurora Lights. This I used for, we went to Pride in Norfolk, and I did my friend Shiz's makeup. We used this palette. It was stunning. I can't get rid of it. It's beautiful. Take Me to Brazil Rio edition. Also very colorful. But do I need to keep it? This one is stunning. I feel like I have other rainbow palettes that I like more, that I reach for more. So I think I'm going to get rid of this one. I also think, no, I'm keeping the Ibiza one. This one I will keep, and we're going to get rid of Brazil. And then the last one in here is Desert Oasis. I love this neutral palette. I was on such a binge with this one that I used it non-stop. I can even see where I dug in with the darker shades. But this is also highlighters over here, which for me also doubles as eyeshadow. So I'm going to keep this palette. I need to be able to see it more. I wish I could stand them up so I could see them. Dang it. But all of them fit right there. So when I close this, I can get all of them in there. Oh no, I spoke too soon. I have some to show. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and count how many from this drawer. 1, 2, we have 15 from this drawer. So far, we've gotten rid of 16. Okay guys, this bottom drawer is predominantly ColourPop and some random ones, but I think it's all mostly ColourPop. We have Menage a Moi. This I will keep is a cool toned neutral palette. Love this palette. The ColourPop pressed glitters and then some matte shades. Gonna keep these as well. By the Rosé. Oh, stunning. I always go for like the pinky nudes. Making Mauves. Also still a cool toned. I actually kind of need to look at this one and Menage a Moi. Okay, so looking at both of these. This one actually has some darker shades in here, whereas these are lighter shades. And then I've got pressed glitters in here. I have shimmers in this one. I'm gonna keep both of them. Blush Crush. Ooh, I love these peachy shades. All Things Equinox. I don't think I ever used this. I don't know that this is like my favorite color story. It's not, and I feel like I have these shades in other ones, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. She's Got Solstice. I do like the peachy shades in here, and I love this green shimmer. I'm gonna keep this one. Biddy and ColourPop. Ooh, I love the shimmers and pressed glitters in here. Gonna keep that one. Nude Mood. You know I've got to keep it. It's got the neutral shades, got some really pretty shimmers. California Love. Ooh, I like these. I'm gonna keep this one. I know I probably have these shades in other palettes. We will see. Good Sport. This was one of my first like fall vibes ones. I like the shimmers that are in here. I'm gonna keep it for now. I might declutter it later. Good as Gold. Ooh, yes. Love this. I'm gonna keep this. So Very Lovely. Neutral shades. I love the shimmers in here. Gonna keep this one as well. Cabana Club. These shades are stunning. I love that teal in here. Love the purple shades. Gonna keep this for now. Okay, I am not getting rid of this. I will probably keep this in my collection forever. This is the Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas in ColourPop. I loved this movie growing up. My mom actually let my sister and I go to this when it came out in theaters. I was not 13 years old, and it was a PG-13 movie, but love this color story. Oh my goodness. Yes. And look at the artwork. It's so cute. It even has Sally on the back. I love the detail on this one. This is the collab with I Love Sarah He. That is not how you say her name. I am messing that up. This is her Through My Eyes palette. Love the color story. Love the greens, the shimmers, the burgundies, all around. Need to grab this more. Truly Madly Deeply. I love the pressed glitters in here, and I like the shimmers. I don't know that I'm in love with this entire color story though. I think I'm gonna pass this on. I'm really surprised, but I'm gonna pass it on. I'm sure one of my friends will love this. Malibu Barbie in ColourPop. This color story, absolutely after my heartstrings. I love the pops of color in here with all the pinkies and the orangey tones. So of Quartz, this is another gray tone ColourPop palette. I'm gonna keep it for now. I might change my mind later, but for right now it's staying. Sprinkle a Little Magic from Tinkerbell. This color story, at first I wasn't really happy with it because there were only a couple like neutral shades, and it's legitimately all greens. But it has grown on me. I really like this color story. I love this mauve shade, and I love the shimmers. The Pure Trolls, I thought I was gonna reach for this, and I love the palettes themselves, but I haven't. So I'm gonna pass these on. This one was Techno. And then this one is Classical. Actually, I really like the neutral shades in here. I'm gonna get rid of it. I've kept a lot so far, and I have a friend I'm sure that would love this. The 5-pan from ColourPop, I have 2 of them. This one is Melt For You. More of the light neutral shades. I'm gonna get rid of this, as well as the ColourPop 143. I ordered these around Valentine's and I never ended up playing with them. The pressed glitter, one of my friends would love, I'm sure, but I'm just not keeping them myself. Rudolph and ColourPop. I love Rudolph. I love the holidays. I'm keeping this one. I love the color story too. So cute. Look at the details. Plush Like Me, this is a very like fall vibes, more deep toned, and I do like the shimmers that are in here, so keeping that. Midnight Masquerade, this is one of the Disney collabs with the Disney princesses. Love this color story. I'm going to keep it, and I love the pressed glitters in here. Dream Street with Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. I absolutely adore Kathleen Lights. She's part of the reason I started my channel, just watching one of her videos talking about if you're gonna do it, now's the time. And here I am 4 years later doing my YouTube channel, and I love her channel. I love her palettes that she's released. I love the color story. It's what makes me decide to play around with color more, because I wouldn't naturally pull a palette like this, but I just love this. Love neutrals and pops of color. And then also her Zodiac palette. This one, when I first saw it, it didn't make sense to me, but then as I've gotten better with playing around with colors and neutral shades, it makes more sense. Like this green along with some of the neutral shades, or just the goldish orange, which the Leo, which is my zodiac sign. I love this palette. The Bambi palettes, this one is Thumper. I love the color stories on this. It's so cute. The little 5 pans. Then you have Bambi. Love the orangey browns. And then you have Flower. Love the purples. I don't know what the heck happened right there. Keeping all 3 of those. The Sweet Talk palettes. Really pretty neutral shades. Actually, I wouldn't say neutral. It's very peachy and brown toned. So I'm going to keep this. In the Springs, this one is stunning. This came out last year. Absolutely love this. Boudoir Noir. I love like the grungy shades along with the neutrals and then the pressed glitter. Gonna keep this one. Off Melrose, this palette is so cute. I love this shade. It goes from like brown to teal, and then you have the pressed glitter, you have some really pretty shimmers. You get kind of the grungy neutral vibes. Love this. Wild Nothing. Still neutral, really like this. I grab this for work all the time. Okay, you guys, I had to go grab my power cable, and instead of recording with the battery, I am hardwired in. So we are making do. All right, so I think I left off with the Whatever palette. And looking at this, it looks very similar to, I think it's the Plush Like Me. So kind of want to compare these two. Okay, so I think this one has a lot of dark shades and oranges, and then those are a little bit more neutral. So I think I'm going to keep both of them for right now. Bye Bye Birdie. This one has like the purpley reds, some pressed glitters, beautiful shimmers. I'm keeping it for right now. Salvaje, I think that's how you say it. This one, when I got it, was such a beautiful palette. I was so in love with it. I'm still in love with it. I just have not reached for it. Like, it's in the bottom of a drawer. I so need to get that bookshelf for after the holidays when I get back. But these shades are stunning. I don't know about the shimmers. I'm gonna hold on to it for right now. We'll readdress it later. Okay, the Hello Kitty palettes. I never ended up playing around with these. Ooh, the orange shades are so cute, but I just don't think I'm gonna reach for these, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. The Cherry Sweet palette. Oh, I love the pinks. I am gonna keep this one. And then you have Cocoa Cutie. Oh, I love the teals and blues. Keeping that one. And then Pineapple Cake. I don't know about the yellows, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. So Candy Castle, this was the collab for Candyland, the game. The palette is super cute. I love the little aesthetic, but I don't know that I'm in love with the palette itself. It's really pretty pastel shades. I've actually never used it. I know that I've got friends that would grab this up. As much as I want to keep it, I have the Natasha Denona pastel palette that I'm absolutely in love with. So I'm going to pass this one on. Roaring Hearts. This palette, absolutely stunning. Love the neutral shades. Love the shimmers in here. I've used this a couple times. I really love it. So I'm going to keep this in my collection. because I have to use neutrals and I think I'll get a lot of use out of this one. Look at the packaging, it is so cute. We still have some more small palettes, but I'm gonna knock out these big palettes. This is the Gettin' Fresh. Look at that color story. It is stunning. Neutrals, limey greens, pops of pink. Absolutely stunning, keeping that one. Then you have Rock Candy. This one is more of the cool tone neutral shades with some pressed glitters and shimmers. Keeping that one. I'll probably won't get rid of a lot of the big palettes. The So Jaded from Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. Love this color story. There's so many bright, colorful shades, and I need to play around with this because I just stuck with the neutrals when I used this. So we've got Stone Cold Fox. Love the cool neutral shades. So stunning. Okay, now we have the Smoke and Roses. This one's really pretty. I love the pinky shades. I love the deep colors for accenting. Love this. The It's a Mood palette. Such beautiful shades. I love the purples, the teals. You've got some of these orangey brown shades, pressed glitters. Like I said, I'm probably not getting rid of any of these big palettes. Your Golden, neutral shades, pops of teal. Really love this. And Play It Jewel. This is very jewel toned, hence the name. But look at those shimmer shades. Stunning. And then the small color pops. This is the Sweet as Can Be, the Winnie Pooh one. I love these shades. The Star Wars palette, this one I probably will not be getting rid of. This one was such an interesting shade to use. But I loved working with this palette. And then also I love Star Wars. Sandstone, very neutral. I like this palette, but I feel like I just kept a bunch of them that have these shades. Although this is one of those that I could travel with. I do like that shade. I think I'm going to pass this one on. The ColourPop Villains Misunderstood. This one, gonna keep it. I love the shimmer shades in here. Such a stunning palette. The Disney Mulan. This has some stunning neutral shades. I love the pressed glitters in here. The shimmers are beautiful. Keeping this one. The Disney Designer, the Princesses. Love this. I love the neutral color story. The shimmer shades are stunning. Keeping it. And of course, Hocus Pocus. I have to keep this one. I love this one. This isn't the original. This is the second one, I think it is. I don't know. It might be the original. I'd have to look. So from this drawer, we got rid of these. That is 10 palettes. So now we're at a total of 26. Okay, on to, this is the fourth drawer. Now, I can't guarantee I'm gonna get rid of a lot of these. These are predominantly Huda Beauty, Too Faced, Urban Decay, and then some indie brands, and then even some of the YouTube influencer ones that I have. I'll start right here on top. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize. I absolutely love this palette. I only picked it up just last month because she was doing a sale where I think if you bought this palette, you got one free. For as big of a fan as I am of Charlotte Tilbury, but not of the price point, I would have been foolish not to get it. So I ended up picking it up, and then I gave the second palette to one of my friends. I have these three from MAC. These were part of a holiday release. The Star Sighting Compact. This one's in fuchsia. I love the packaging of it. I reach for this, but not as much as I'd like. It's cute. It's just, I just reached for this color in this shade. So I'm going to end up passing this on. This one is neutral. I actually reach for this one more frequently than the fuchsia, so I'm going to keep this one. And then this one is lavender. Really pretty, never used it. I'm going to pass this one on too. The Too Faced Teddy Bear. This one I'm going to keep. Really love the neutral shades, and this is such a cute eyeshadow palette. Let's see, since we're already on MAC, let's knock those ones out. The Patrick Star Stay With Me. These purples are really pretty. I don't reach for it, so I'm gonna pass this on. The Aladdin one, really like this palette. I still been reaching for it. Been using these shades for work, so I'm gonna keep that one. Same thing with the Kabuki doll. This one was a Chinese New Year? I can't remember. Actually no, this was a spring Sakura, hence the cherry blossoms. This one I'm going to keep as well. I've been reaching for these three neutral shades, and then some of the like champagne pops. Another Patrick Star, this one is Play With Me. Again, I don't really reach for this. I've never actually used it, so I'm going to pass this on to a friend. Now and Zen. This one's really pretty. I don't know why I've never used it, because these shades right here would absolutely be my go-to for work. So I'm going to keep this, and I might play with this tomorrow for work. MAC and Aaliyah. I'm keeping this. I grew up listening to Aaliyah. So this one I'm keeping for sure. This is the Plum Luxe. I actually picked this up when I was in Guam visiting one of my friends. It's more sentimental than anything, but at the same time, like, I just don't know why I'm still holding on to it, because it's literally a shimmer brick. So I'm gonna pass this one on. And then the Makeup Art Cosmetics Kabuki Magic. This was, I think I've swatched only a couple of these. I'm gonna keep this because there are some shimmers in here that I like, and maybe I'll get some use out of it. These ones from Kaleidos. I don't think I'm getting rid of them. First off, the packaging is really cool. I love the lace overlay. And then this one is the neutral shades. I really love the neutrals, and then this shimmer is stunning. And then this one is the smoky shades. So I'm gonna keep those as well. They don't have names on them, so I couldn't tell you, but they're from Kaleidos. Oh, all the Huda ones. All right, so we have the Obsessions. This is the Amethyst Obsessions. Love these. I love the shimmers in all of these, keeping that. The Ruby Obsessions, keeping that one. I'm gonna preface this with I'm probably not getting rid of any of my Huda Beauty ones, especially because I said when I got rid of the Juvia's Place Topaz. No, this is Topaz. I don't know what that one was, but I said I was gonna keep this one, so I'm going to. The Sapphire Obsessions, love these shades. I love the pops of green in there too. The Emerald Obsessions, beautiful. And then the Mauve Obsessions, which I actually got this in one of my subscription boxes, but I love the shades in here. These are the Hazed Obsessions. This one is Khaki. I don't see why I should get rid of these. They are stunning. The Purple Haze, love those. The shimmers, just for the shimmers alone. Sand Haze, beautiful. This is a beautiful neutral palette. Then we have the Wild Obsessions. This one is Tiger. Which I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was it Jaguar? This one. Maybe it was Tiger. When I did Lunar New Year last year, and I ended up buying the same one just in Lunar New Year packaging. I think it was this palette, which is stunning. The Chameleon. Oh, look at that purple. It is beautiful. Jaguar. I love the Jaguar palette. The shades are stunning. And then the Python palette. I love how beautiful these shades actually remind me of like Tropical Paradise, or something that I would wear just on a Caribbean island somewhere. The Brown Obsessions, this one is Toffee. It's not really neutral. I do like the orangey yellow shades in here. This shimmer is beautiful. Caramel Obsession. Still in the orangey, so you kind of get the blend of like topaz. Oh yeah, they're very similar. Huh, interesting. This one's more orangey and this one's more burnt orange though. And then the chocolate, the Nude Light palette. I love this palette. So I actually will mix this one with medium. I love these shades. And then the Rich. So stunning, decadent, yummy. The pastels, this one in Mint. I think I actually used some of these. No, I haven't used this at all. I do want to play with that mauve. I don't know why I haven't reached for these yet, but I can't seem to part with them. The Lilac, oh yeah, and then Rose. And see, I don't know that I like the matte shades in here, not these two at least. This one, that one, and then the shimmers, beautiful. The neons, I love these shades. I haven't reached for them and I don't know why. I had every intention of using them when I purchased them, but I think that was the year that I took off. Oh, I remember. So we used this palette for Pride and I ended up dropping it and it smattered everywhere, all over my floor. But I can't bring myself to get rid of it just because I broke one shade. So Love Fest, just picked this one up. It is beautiful. That shade, stunning. Both of them actually. And then the gold palette was actually a limited release. I can't remember which website, but it finally like came to Huda Beauty a year later. This palette, love it for work. I obviously dig into this one quite a bit. And then these neutral shades are really pretty on top. The Violet Voss Pro Eyeshadow. This is pretty. I don't reach for it. I just kept a whole bunch of these shades in other palettes. I'm going to pass this one off to someone else. Let's see. The Celestial Thunder from Dominique Cosmetics. I like this. It's just, I don't know that I'm going to keep grabbing for it. Especially like the burnt orange shades. I just kept a bunch of those in Huda Beauty. So I'm going to pass this on. The Cocoa Blend from Zoeva. It's pretty. I don't reach for it. I'm going to pass this on. The Too Faced Sweet Peach. I actually have this for the giveaway, so I'm going to keep this one. And it still smells so amazing. I love Too Faced and their scented products. Too Faced Gingerbread Spice. I love this. Now, let's do a comparison. I also have the Gingerbread Extra Spicy. They're kind of similar. Actually, no, because this one has the teal in there. This shade's a little bit more muted than that Gumdrop. It's similar. It's not identical. But I love the artwork in here. The Better Than Chocolate. Beautiful. It is after my own heart. So many beautiful neutrals. I love this blue, but these are stunning. Cinnamon Swirl. Also really pretty neutrals. They tend to have very similar color stories. Just the shades might be a little bit lighter or deeper depending on the palette. And then Pumpkin Spice. Beautiful neutral shades. I reach for this one and that one a lot. Now on to Urban Decay. This is the Ultraviolet, which I actually never ended up using. I want to. These shades right here, the purples and this one Lucid, is stunning. And I know, I've said stunning a lot. It seems to be my filler word for just how I explain something. I think my last declutter, you guys said that you're going to do a drinking game to the words that I use the most. Naked 2. This is actually in the old palette style. I really like it though. It's a very cool toned, deep neutral. Actually, cool tone neutral. I wouldn't say deep. The only deep shades are really these two. Naked Honey. Beautiful. And you get some of the like mustardy shades as well. This one, Urban Decay Cherry. I fell in love with this one when it came out, the entire collection. And then when I went home, I did my friend Mary's makeup and we were just in love with the palette. I was traveling with it and everything. Urban Decay Heat. I haven't used this at all. I need to though. I do like the shades. And actually I'm getting very similar, like, no, they're not the same. I thought they might be, but they're not the same. Smoky. Very cool toned, very similar to Urban Decay 2, I think. So I feel like these two would be really cool together because you've got the blue shades and then you've got a lot of the gray shades. I feel like they could be very cohesive together. Urban Decay Wild West. I know I did a video with this one and I do like this. This is very fall vibes, something I would reach for more in like September, October timeframe. This is the Kaleidos Flower Punk. This palette is so cool. So the entire thing comes off and now you've got your mirror that detaches. And then this is the palette. These shades are beautiful. I love these two right here, Aloe Cove and Stained Glass. They are beautiful. This is the Brunette palette from Melt Cosmetics. Love the neutral shades. The shimmers, I wouldn't say they're like the most amazing shimmers, but they're nice. And then the Mary Jane palette. I love the packaging on this. The neutral shades in here, and I do really like the shimmers. I did get a lot of use out of this one, Callie. All right, this one from BoxyCharm. This was one of their special releases. I think I'm gonna pass this on. I've never reached for it. This pressed glitter right here is really pretty, this shimmer, but otherwise I have these shades in other palettes. These palettes right here are really cool. This is from Sydney Grace and Temptalia. The three of them together create a design, and I think I have mine upside down. Do I? Maybe. Yep, there. Oh, shoot, here it is. I did have it right. So that is the design right there. These palettes, I can already tell you without opening them up that I'm keeping them. Just look at those. And then there was light and dark, and I got the light ones. Look at those. Beautiful. Okay, and then the third one. This story is beautiful. I love these shades right here. Then we have Laura Lee. This is Candy Skies with her niece Erin. Oh, why is that bleeding like that? Do you see that? Wonder if it's the dye from the shade. This palette was stunning when I used it, and I can't bring myself to get rid of it. I'm gonna play around with this some more, hopefully this year. The Laura Lee's Nudie Patootie. Is this the second one? I think this is the first one. I love the neutral shades in here, and her shimmers are beautiful. The Rustic Glam from Dominique Cosmetics. Really like the neutral shades. I never ended up getting a chance to play around with this, so I'm gonna keep this so I can test it out and try the colors, especially because the neutrals I will reach for. And then I do like these shades right here, which I just dug my nail into. Cool. But these shimmers are stunning. While I'm thinking about it, I also have the palettes I keep behind me. I'm obviously not getting rid of these, but this is the Bobbi Brown Tokidoki one. I just did a review for this one. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. Love the neutral shades in here. I like that there's a pop of color in there. Here is the Nudie Patootie number 2 from Laura Lee Los Angeles. Also more neutral shades, but the shimmers are beautiful. The Sigma New Mod. This palette, I absolutely love the neutral shades in here, and then some of these shimmers are very surprising when you go to swatch them. the Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Mothership. I can't remember the name of it. Mothership Moonlight Seduction. Look at that. And then we have the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. This palette is by far one of my favorites. I have been using it for everything, whether it's after work, on the weekends. I love the shades in here. I love the grays with the shade Cosmic Love. I love these two shades and Self Love for work. Just this palette is absolutely one of my favorites. Natasha Denona, My Dream palette. This is her newest one. These shades are beautiful. Love this one, Vision. I reach for it all the time. I play around with these shades right here, deepen it up with Blackest Black, and then this on the middle of the eye. Stunning. Natasha Denona Retro palette. I love the shades in here. You've got the burgundies, you've got some neutrals, you've got the light pinks. Go to whenever I want just like a burgundy pink pop. This palette is cute. Lunar Beauty Nude Prism. I absolutely love the neutral shades in here. These shimmers right here are fabulous. I love this palette just to deepen it up, or even the light neutral shades. And can we talk about the packaging? Look at that. It's stunning. And then the last one that I keep on there, this is the ABH Norvina collection. This is volume 5. Mostly purple, but I love the shades in here. That pressed glitter is everything, but can we appreciate some of these shimmers that are in here? I don't reach for this nearly enough, but I need to. For that drawer, we got rid of these palettes. Which is 9 total from that drawer. Okay, this drawer is Natasha Denona, Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Norvina palettes are down here, and then just an interesting smattering of random palettes. So first one, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eye. The Instant Eye palette Smoky Eyes Are Forever. This one I used the other day on a Shop My Stash, and I absolutely love this color story. It is beautiful, so of course I'm keeping it. This is the Complex Culture Full-Time Eyeshadow Palette. These shades are really pretty, and they break them down by what they should be. So like dinner party, cocktail party, surprise party, which I think is a lot of fun, and the shimmers are beautiful. We have Stila. This is the Blue Realm. I love these eyeshadows. Actually, I want to reach for this more. The only thing is I can't use these two shades for work, but I can use this shade for all over the eye, and then use one of my like ColourPop singles. So I will keep that one. Dose of Colors, we have the mini palette. This is a blush, and then these are all eyeshadows. And I don't think I've actually ever used this. I think I might get rid of this one. It's cute, it's just, I feel like I have this in other palettes, and to keep it for just a blush, someone else will like it, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. The Dose of Colors Daisy and Daffy. This palette is super cute. I love this shade in the blush. Not necessarily my go-to, but it is cute. These eyeshadows though, so beautiful. And Dose of Colors Mickey palette. This I will keep. It has the highlighter. These deep shades are really pretty, and I love that shimmer. I hate to break up Mickey and Minnie, but I like the Mickey shades better. Now we have my one random Marc Jacobs. This is the Electric. I love the shades in here. These pinks and the shimmers are stunning. So Tati Beauty, this is volume 1. It's the only one to ever put out, and it's no longer a brand. She's talked about it. The palette itself, the mirror is ginormous, but then you have everything. So it tells you what type. So these are all glitters, metallics, sequins, which means it's a matte with glitters, and then matte shades. And then you have all of the shade names. So Memory, Ritual, Story, Soothe, Aura, and Poet. I love this palette. I need to reach for it more. I know that it's not available, which is why I don't use it on camera that often, but it is a stunning palette. Oh, I have another Too Faced palette. This is Too Femme. It is such a cute, like pastel, girly, feminine. And I like that you have a lighter shade, a brown, and then you even have a deeper brown in that bigger palette. but the shimmers are beautiful. These two from Bobbi Brown. This is the Ultraviolet eye palette. I love the color story. This one and then Infrared. Beautiful. Will not be parting with these. The Molten Drama from Bobbi Brown. Love this palette. These shades are stunning. This one in the crease and the outer corner is beautiful for work. And then this shade, absolutely love this palette. Even like the shifts. So the Kylie palette, this one I really like. I like the neutral shades, the very hot pink that's just randomly in there. The shimmers are really pretty, so I'm gonna keep this one as well. Now, getting into some of my favorites. The Natasha Denona pastel palette. You guys, this is beautiful. This is why I got rid of a lot of my pastel palettes, because these shades perform so beautifully. The color story, just the payout. Love this palette. The Glam palette. If you need a cool toned glam moment, this is it. The shimmers are so buttery smooth. Zendo palette. This is actually in the holiday giveaway that I just did. Oh, look at that. The Bronze palette. I love these shimmers. Of course, I'm keeping the Sunrise palette. I need to play with this. I ordered it during the time that I was just kind of in my time off moment, and I never ended up playing with it, but these shades right here speak to my heart so much, and I want to play around with them so bad. I don't know why. I think it's because I just don't see it in the drawer. So again, I need a bookshelf. The Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette. I held on to this. I haven't reached for it. These are pretty shades. I don't gravitate towards or pick it up because I forget about it. So I am going to pass this one on. It is really pretty. Someone else will get some good use out of that. Tiny Marvels from Sydney Grace. This was in collaboration with Mel Thompson, who has since passed away. This will stay in my collection. She was such a beautiful person. I loved watching her videos on YouTube. And when I heard the news, it was a real big surprise. She was hiding a lot of pain. So I will keep this in my collection. There's a release as well that Sydney Grace did that Mel Thompson had put together. So I just purchased that one. And I can't wait to play around with it. But Sydney Grace has some amazing eyeshadows. This one was completely sold out. They kept putting it back in stock, and then after she passed, they put it back in stock again for her. But this palette is beautiful. The Tropic palette from Natasha Denona. Really beautiful shades. Love the shimmers. Love the neutral pinks. So beautiful. Now on to Huda Beauty, the Rose Gold palette remastered. This is beautiful. I love the shimmers in here. They are stunning. And then of course the cover. This is so cute. Mercury Retrograde from Huda Beauty. This palette is absolutely phenomenal. I love all of the shimmers. I love the pressed glitters, the matte shades, the just payoff. It's such a fun palette. Can we appreciate this cover? Beautiful. The Naughty Nude palette from Huda Beauty. The shimmers in here are absolutely stunning. I love the color story. It's definitely something I gravitate towards, being a neutral palette, but beautiful. And the Nude Nude from Huda Beauty. I love this because it gravitates towards mauve shades. The pressed glitters are really pretty. These crushed pearl shimmers, beautiful. And I love the inside art. I have 4 of the Norvina collection palettes. This is volume 1. Oh, look how beautiful those shades are. Keeping them. I'm not getting rid of any of the Norvina palettes. This is number 2. Number 3. And then the 4th one. This one is one of my favorites. The pressed glitters, the shimmers, stunning. And then the other Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, the Norvina palette, the original. I bought mine and some of them were like broken, but I couldn't like bring my heart to take them back. I just hate combating like trying to fix broken palettes. The Riviera palette, this one is no longer available. I love this palette. I had so much fun using it and I need to use it more because some of these shades are so stunning. Subculture. I bought this after I heard about all the drama, but the shades in here are beautiful and I need to play around with it. I don't care about Kick Up. It is what it is. I just wanted to play around with the color story. This is the Jacqueline Ina. Beautiful. And why does it look like I haven't used it at all? I need to. Carly Bible. I love the packaging on this. Just look at that. It's so beautiful. This color story is a lot of fun. I like the neutral shades. I also like the duo shifts. And then this one has like multicolored glitter in it. And then the shimmers that look like pressed glitters. If you need a palette that has neons for days, the Alyssa Edwards palette, it's there for you. And then of course your neutrals. And of course Amrezy. This palette, it speaks to me. The glitter, the pink, is so cute. And I love the color story in here. I had so much fun playing around with this palette, but I need to play around with it more, especially now that I'm in more of my color phase. I think when I first purchased this, I was strictly neutrals, but that has since changed in 2022. We didn't get rid of a lot in this, but we got rid of 2. Okay, now we have just a smattering of things. I know there's a lot of Juvia's Place and Pat McGrath, and then some others. We'll start here with Artist Couture. This is the Supreme Mauves. This one I reach for a lot. I love these shades in this shimmer. These two are stunning. If you want to deepen it up a little bit, you have these darker shimmers and then this really pretty shade, Prestige. And then Supreme Nudes, all the browns, really pretty grungy greens, and then a really pretty like coppery gold. These two from Too Faced, so beautiful. This is the Razzle Dazzle Berry. I reach for these and then I use this pink one and the pink shimmer, especially for work. And then Too Faced Sparkling Pineapple, also really pretty. And they have the best scents. This one from Patrick Starr and MAC, really pretty. I don't know that I need to keep it. This is Smoky Slay. I've kept a lot of like greens in these shades I have in other palettes, so I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. Glam Light Chocolate Martini. Oh yeah, I love Glam Light. Their eyeshadows are so beautiful. Buttery smooth, I'm keeping this one. The Dirty Martini. Also really pretty, lots of greens, grungy greens, browns, shimmers are beautiful. MAC and Selena, which of course you've got her picture on the inside. And then the eyeshadow palette itself is really stunning. Makeup Revolution Jewel Collection. This is where I'm torn because I have not been keeping a lot of Makeup Revolution. I haven't been reaching for it. They have some stunning shimmers, which is why I kept it last time, but I just haven't reached for it. So it's like, do I keep it or do I get rid of it? Ooh, I'm keeping it. I haven't swatched any of them and I'm just like, that was the deciding factor. Here's a bunch of Natasha Denona. So I have the little 5 pans. This is the Mini Nude. Obviously it's really easy for travel, so keeping that one. The Lila palette. Very beautiful. Love that blue. I'm going to keep that one as well. This is the Mini Retro. I remember when this came out and then the Retro palette came out, everyone's like, how the heck are these two related? Keeping that because I don't have those shades in that palette. Mini Love. So cute. Gonna keep that. I love this shade right here. Peak palette. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one because I just don't reach for these type of shades in one shimmer. I'm gonna pass this on to a friend. The Ayana palette, really beautiful. Love this shade. Love the neutrals. Gonna keep that one. We have Pat McGrath and Bridgerton. This is Belle of the Ball. Ooh, look at that. Keeping that one. And then Diamond of the First Water. Also very stunning. Love these. The Tresluce La Flora de Mexico. This palette is beautiful. I love the burnt oranges, which now I'm okay with getting rid of this one because it's not as dark, but I feel like I could mix a couple of these shades and get the same colors. But this palette is beautiful. And then that like duo shift right there, keeping that one. Beauty Bakery, Proof is in the Pudding. Neutral palette. Oh, I want to keep this. I'm gonna get rid of it. Lethal Cosmetics. I don't remember which palette this was. I want to say it was like an 80s, 90s palette, but beautiful shades. Their eyeshadows are stunning. Go check them out. Nomad Berlin Underground, my first ever Nomad palette, and now I'm obsessed. This, of course, is like the grungy punk rock colors. Kaleidos and Angelica Nyquist Club Nebula. This palette is phenomenal. Look at that color story. Oh, beautiful. The Escape Pod, also from Kaleidos. Beautiful, phenomenal. The neon shades are absolutely stunning. Their shimmers are just so buttery smooth. Lunar Beauty Moon Spell. Love the concept behind this. And the shades are beautiful. All the names of the shades are named for famous witches we know. Like Paige, Samantha, Mary. Pat McGrath Labs Celestial Divinity. This was from a couple years ago for Christmas. So I, of course, cannot get rid of it because the shimmers are stunning. All right, so going into Odin's Eye. This is a Swedish indie brand. This is Saga of Freya Chapter 1 Tears of Freya. I keep all the sleeves and everything. This palette is so cute. It's just like a little storybook. Chapter 2 Cat with Golden Carriage. I love the cover art for this. All the minty greens with some oranges. This one is a double book. So this is the Freya Saga palette. And when you open it up, it actually has two sides and it's got a mirror. But this is the color story on this side. And then this is the color story on this side. And why? Because I grew up in Florida, did I think of like Miami Dolphins. Such a weirdo. I'm not even a fan of the Miami Dolphins, but that's what I thought. The Norns palette. This one is beautiful. All the stunning shades. These shimmers down here are phenomenal. And then the Elva eyeshadow palette. This one, neutrals. Oh, come on. The neutrals are beautiful. I need to use this again. Okay, I have the Beauty Crop Stargazing palette. Oh, look at that. Those shimmers are stunning. It is literally an all shimmer palette with some pressed glitters. I'm gonna keep it though. Now we're into Juvia's Place, and there's so many. The Warrior 3 by Juvia's. Look how stunning those are. And look at the pants. Those are so big. Who needs this much color? They're affordable. Their eyeshadows are amazing. The formula is beautiful. This one is the Festival. Keeping that. The Magic Mini. Ooh, look at those. If you need a colorful shimmer, they've got you covered. The Nubian 2. Look at that. Just the grungy browns, the greens. Oh, stunning. Oh, I've got some random ones down here. This one is Melt. This was, I don't remember the name of it. Amore Mariposa. This palette was so beautiful. And then the Kylie palette for one of our birthdays. All neutrals, some pops of color. Gotta keep it. The Nubian Earth. Look how stunning that is. Those neutral shades are beautiful. Okay, you guys, we have the Nubian by Juvia's. This is the larger palette of the small one that I got rid of. I like this. It has the same shades as that palette, but there's deeper, darker shades in here and so many more shimmers. The Nubian 3 Coral, this palette is absolutely stunning. I was obsessed with this when I first got it. It is so pretty. I don't know that I ever did a review with it, but this palette was, I think, during the summer. I was wearing this a lot. The Saharan by Juvia's. Really pretty color story. I do like some of these more brick and tangerine orangey red shades. And then the shimmers in here. I purchased this, I want to say last spring, but I really haven't gotten a chance to play around with it. I really want to this year. The Nomad by Juvia's. Love these shades. You kind of have the grungy deep shades here, but then you have some really pretty orange and yellow, kind of still grungy, but I really like these shades. That shimmer is stunning. And then the Warrior by Juvia's. More neutral shades. I told you guys, I have to wear neutrals for work. Being in the military, we try and wear makeup that doesn't distract from uniform, so I keep more neutral palettes than anything else. And I currently have some that I'm gonna start rotating through so that each night I'll pull 4 or 5 of them. So in the morning I can start actually utilizing the different neutral palettes I have in my collection. So I'll probably add this one in for the next day or so. I don't know how I had all of those fitting in here. This is the problem with taking palettes out of drawers. I don't necessarily remember how I got them in there to begin with. This just reiterates why I need a bookshelf. Now from this drawer, I got rid of 3. Okay, this is the last drawer before we get into kind of the miscellaneous, including the ones that I purchased this year but never ended up using. So that's gonna be fun. This is the Gemini palette from Melt Cosmetics. Really love the shades in here. I don't know why I keep gravitating towards like the grungy deep shades, but they are beautiful. This palette only has 2 shimmers in here, and then the rest of these are all matte. And then Gemini 2, I love the packaging on this. And here we have more of the burgundy and peachy shades along with some of the grungy greens. So I'm keeping both of those. The Little e.l.f. Mint Melts. As cute as these are, I just don't reach for them, and I've kept other green palettes. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. Do you see what I did? I am going to give this to someone else. These palettes are super cute. Apparently very difficult to open, but I'm gonna give them to someone else. Gilded Getaway from Milani. This palette is super cute. I am going to keep it. It had some really pretty shimmers. Also, still a very affordable brand. And I think the packaging is adorable. So then these 3 from Too Faced. These were part of a Christmas collection. This one is a bunch of like the burgundies. You got 2 shimmers. You have a blush in here. Gonna keep this one. The Bananas. And they do have a scent. This one is really nice. It kind of smells like banana bread. But also, again, you've got a blush. These neutral shades, I kind of need to reach for these. So I think I'm going to keep this one out. And then the little Sugar Plum Gingerbread Girl. This one is very purpley. I love the shimmers in here. This blush is not necessarily a shade that I would go for, but the shimmers are beautiful. So, oh, they have their names on the inside. So Sugar Plum Cookie, Very Merry Christmas, and then the bananas I was going to keep out is Totally Bananas. So this one is Pillow Talk Dreams from Charlotte Tilbury. Really pretty neutral shades. I really like the pink sparkle in here. These two are so stunning. From Give, this is Gwen Stefani's brand. This is the Just a Girl palette. I need to pick up a couple more of these quads. They're really cute. I like the neutral shades. I wear this to work. I really had a lot of fun with this palette, and it makes it so easy trying to think of like what you're gonna do. You have your neutral shade, something to deepen it up, and then one of the two shimmers, or both. The Smart Cult eyeshadow palette from Kiko. This is all shimmers, and I don't know if I need to keep it. I mean, they are buttery smooth. I am gonna keep it. I keep forgetting to use this though. These two from Hip Dot and Reese's, so cute. I loved the eyeshadow palette, or I loved the eyeshadow looks that I got with these. They are so cute. The white chocolate one was actually one of my favorites, but the pressed glitter in here for the brown, so cute. The mini shadow from Soph. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. I just haven't reached for it, and I know I have these shades in other palettes. The shimmers are really buttery smooth, which is kind of why I kept them the first time, but I haven't used them otherwise. This is the Dolce Diva from Kiko. Really like the eyeshadows in here. I just don't reach for them. This one, or let's see. This is also Dolce Diva. The browns. I feel like I have these in other palettes though. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna get rid of these. I just have a lot of quads. I have a lot of big palettes that have similar shades. Kiko is a very nice brand though. So I'm gonna get rid of these two. The City Mini palette. This one is Rooftop Bronzes. Really pretty brown shades. It is all shimmer. Do I keep it? I'm gonna get rid of that one. And then Downtown Sunrise. I think I'm gonna keep this one over the other one. All right, so we have Smashbox. This one is the Hood Witch. I love the packaging on this though. Look how shimmery that is. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna keep that one. Then Cover Shop Major Metals, gonna keep that one. I love these metal shades, they are stunning. Smashbox Prism Eye Palette. This one is so cute. I really like this one. This shade right here is beautiful. Same thing with this one. Those are beautiful. And the Smashbox and Vlada, I love this color story. Definitely need to keep this out on my desk because I love reaching for this and using it for work. Now into Morphe, and this is all Morphe. This is the 15T. Ooh, see, I like these shades. I just have not been reaching for Morphe. I'm gonna keep this for now. Like I said, I'm gonna take one of your guys' advice and get a bookshelf so I can actually see my palettes better, because this is not doing it for me. The Morphe Artistry palette. This one, yeah, it's all pressed glitters and some shimmers. I'm gonna keep this one as well. Coca-Cola and Morphe. This is the first one. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. As pretty as it is, and I like the blue and the pressed red and silver, I've kept everyone else. I've kept all the other neutral palettes, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. The 24A Artist Pass. This one had a lot of like really cool colors. Yep. All pressed glitters, neon shades. I'm gonna keep this one. Jaclyn Hill palette. I want to say this is volume 1. I don't know that I need to keep this, but I'm going to for right now. And see if I play with these more when I have them in a bookshelf. Volume 2. Oh, I love these shades. I'm gonna keep this one as well. Icy Fantasy. These pastel shades are stunning. I'm gonna keep this one for now. Don't know that I need it, but I'm gonna keep it for now. This palette, Bronze Goals. I absolutely love this palette. I played with this so much when I got it. I need to reach for this more. It has some stunning shades in here and the shimmers are to die for. 35XO, this palette, I like the packaging on it. But then you have all the pinky shades that you need. Oh, look at that. And that pressed glitter, keeping it. The Morphe and Nikita palette, look at those shades. I really like mostly this side of it. The neutrals I have in other palettes, but I'm gonna keep it for now. And look at that pressed glitter. The 35S Sweet Oasis. Look at those shades. Yum. This shade right there, I love that teal. This is the 35M. Ooh, the crunchy shades. I feel like the small one is a little bit similar, but I'm gonna keep both of them for now. The Morphe and James Charles. This palette is good for everything, if I can open it. It just has every single color you could possibly use. I remember watching his video where he did a full face of just this palette for blush, bronzer, you name it, he used it. That is a very versatile palette. The 39S. Oh, yes, I love this palette. I broke one of the shimmers, but it is such a stunning palette. Look at that. And then the last one, 39L, Hit the Lights. They broke this down into 4 different people collabing and put it all together. So I feel like you have a little bit of everything from everyone's personality. So I'm gonna keep this one as well. Okay, these are the ones that I'm getting rid of from this drawer. That is 7 palettes gone from this drawer, making some room. Okay, so I know we already organized this drawer, but I have some palettes that I purchased, put in my need to use drawer, and then just haven't gotten around to it, and here we are at the end of the year. So, and by the time you see this, it's already gonna be 2023. So I'm gonna go through those palettes. Some of them might get sent to friends instead. Some of them, if you wanna see videos with them, let me know. But I haven't reached for them yet. The first 2 are from ColourPop. This is the Star Wars Mandalorian. This one was the Child. I love the shades in here, super cute. I've been watching The Mandalorian with Luke. And then this one is the actual Mandalorian, which is more like cool toned grays. Really love the shades that are in here. This shade is stunning. I haven't had the opportunity, so I do want to hold on to them for right now. I have the Lawless the One Baby. I'm not sure what that is. This one is more of a mauve and neutral color story. I do like the shimmers in here. I'm going to keep this one. This is Beauty for Real Golden Hour. This has some stunning shimmers. I do like the neutral shades in here, the matte ones. This Pink Sands is really stunning, and then this greenish blue. So I'm going to keep this for right now. I do think that I can actually use this for work. I might just keep it on my table, reach for it, and make my decision after that. Violet Voss Violet Sunset. This one, I think it's cute. I just don't know that I'm gonna reach for it. This shade Violet Sunset looks interesting, but it's really the only thing that's speaking to me. So I think I'm going to pass this one on to a friend. Natasha Denona, this is the Cupid palette. This is super cute. I love Natasha Denona's quality, and I love the 5 pans because I can grab them and travel with them easily. So I'm gonna keep this one. The Ofra Signature palette in Symphony. I think this is what, mauve shades? Yeah. And then this is one of the highlighters that you can use as like a shimmer eyeshadow. So I'm going to keep this for right now. Same thing. I like the 5 pans because they're easy to travel with. Not to say that I don't like larger pans to travel with because I have more color options. But when I'm limited on space, the 5 pans are awesome. This brand Zisi I picked up, and actually I want to say I picked this up in 2020. why is it still in that drawer? Because I tend to, at the end of the year, clean it out. I might have planned on using this and just didn't get around to it. This is the Fireworks 16 color eyeshadow. This is such a cute color story. I love the shimmers and the pressed glitters. These right here are pressed glitters. I still want to play around with it, whether I use it for a video or not. And then even then, there is a little plastic cover for it. It has the cutest little detail. And you guys know I have a cat if you've been here before. So of course I'm going to keep this one for right now. I do want to play around with it. I had seen ZC pop up on, I want to say like an Instagram advertisement, which is how I purchased it, but I just never ended up reaching for it. And I love the packaging. Look at that, it's so cute. This is Presumida. I don't know what that says. It's really hard to read. And even back here, it doesn't really say. The color story is pretty. This is a blush highlighter. I don't think I'm going to keep this. I think I'm going to pass this on. I think I swatched this when I unboxed it in my subscription box. It's not something that I think I will reach for. The purple and orange, they're pretty. They're just not something that I'm like going to reach for on a daily. So passing this on. Beauty Bakery Sour Ya Doin'. This is really pretty, but I don't know that I'm going to keep it. I like their shimmers, but these shades aren't something that I would like grab for all the time, and I have palettes that have similar shades. So I am going to pass this on, especially because it hasn't been used yet. The Viseart, what is this? Petite Pro Un? Their packaging is really cute. This color story, very neutral. I would probably use this quite a bit for work, but I've kept a lot of neutral palettes already, so I'm going to pass this one on. The Ciate London Spice Palette. Ooh, see, I want to keep this one. I do want to play around with this. It is really pretty. The Glamlight Wine and Margarita palettes. Glamlight has a beautiful formula, so easy to use. The shimmers are stunning, buttery smooth, very purple palette. I do like the shimmers, especially because they seem to have multicolored glitter in them. So these ones I will probably keep. This one is very neon. I think in spring this will be stunning. I'm not sure why I didn't reach for this. Maybe I just ran out of time. But I will keep these and maybe shop my stash or rotate through them to do some looks with them. These ones I just picked up from ColourPop. This is the Fairy Well. This is absolutely after my heartstrings. This is something that I would reach for work because it's very neutral. It's kind of cool toned, but then you still have some of the grungy deep shades to go with it. So I'm going to keep this one. Maybe I still think I have time because it's available on their website. And then the Enchanted palette, very purple, very similar to the Glamlight Wine. But I really like the shimmers that ColourPop has. And I still think some of these shades I might be able to use for work because they're light mauve shades. So I'm going to keep both of those. Lorac Pro Palette Meraki. I think that's how you say it. Very neutral. I don't think I've actually used a Lorac palette. I always hear about it. I know it's affordable-ish. But I've never really used Lorac. So I'm going to keep this and try it out, especially because it is neutral. I don't know about this first row though. It's quite interesting. It looks like it's leaning green. But the rest of it is really pretty. These two I actually just picked up from Natasha Denona during her sale for like Black Friday. First off, these are the expensive palettes that are like $128. So they were pretty much 50% off, which is why I purchased them. This is the Circo Loco palette. First off, the packaging is really beautiful. Oh, look at these colors. Did I need more palettes? No, but I had been eyeing these and I could not bring myself to pay the price point. And then the Trio Chrome palette, I put this in my drawer and it gouged the crap out of it. Kind of upset, but it's not going to affect the quality of the eyeshadows. This is really pretty. It is predominantly mattes, and then you have the 3 Trio Chromes. So I'm excited to play around with these. I'm glad they're in my collection now. This is another palette from ZC. This was the collab with the British Museum for Alice in Wonderland. And if you've seen my sleeve, you'll understand why I picked up this palette. The first part of my sleeve was Alice and the White Rabbit and the mouse. So I had to pick this up. It is very pretty, very neutral toned, very light shades, but the shimmers are stunning. I still don't know why I never got around to using this, but I will definitely be using this when we get back from Texas. The Tarte Sunrise palette. I had every intentions of using this, and I like Tarte. Actually, I think I've decluttered all of my Tarte palettes for the most part. I want to use this, but I think I'm going to get rid of it, especially because the shimmers are a little bit darker than I would normally use for work. So it just makes more sense to pass this on to someone who maybe might get more use out of it. This is the Rare Beauty Came to Play. Oh, this is beautiful. And I love this mauve shade. So I'm going to keep this for right now, especially this glitter looks stunning. This is the iconic London Dusk to Dance eyeshadow palette. This is really pretty. You've got some neutral shades, you've got some deeper shades, colorful. The shimmers are stunning. I love Iconic London's color formulation, so I'm going to keep this. The Be Perfect Rain Makeup by Alina. I had every intentions of using this, and look at how colorful this is. I like that there's mirrors on both sides. It is very interesting packaging, but I do want to play around with this. And look at the pressed glitters. Those shades. Each row has, well, for the most part, almost every row has a pressed glitter. And then Norvina Volume 6. Of course, I had to add this to my collection. Don't know why I didn't use it. It is very colorful, has the pressed shimmers and glitters. I need to use this so bad. All right, so these are the palettes that I'm getting rid of from the new makeup drawer. That is 5 palettes. And honestly, I think all of these were sent to me in subscription boxes, which 5 of them out of all of those that I still need to use, that's not too bad. Okay, next we have palettes that are either still on my table or on the floor next to it because I don't have room in my drawers. And some of them I'm gonna keep and possibly get rid of some of the other ones, but they're all pretty much new this year for the most part. So this one is Nomad Santa's Village. I haven't gotten to use this. This should actually be in the new makeup drawer, but this palette is stunning. Oh, I know why it's not in the new makeup drawer, because it sold out and they were doing a limited release on this. So I wasn't planning on doing a video for something that was gone. If you still want to see this, I think I put it in one of my videos, like just let me know and I'll do a quick TikTok with it. It is super cute. I love these shimmers right here. The NYX Up to Snow Good. These colors are stunning. The shimmers were beautiful. Gonna keep this one. The NYX Not So Nice, this also came out with them. The neutral shades are really pretty. These glitters, stunning and super affordable. The NARS Uninhibited palette. I have the hardest time opening this palette. And of course, I dropped it, but this palette is beautiful. I use this for work a lot. It stays on my desk. I don't travel with it because of this shade. I just cannot press it back in. It does not want to stay. So I will keep this, keep it on my desk, continue to use it for work. The Kylie Cosmetics, this one was the Mauves. This one is really pretty. I love the shimmers in here. There isn't a very light shimmer, but these shades are beautiful for my neutral looks for work. So I'm keeping that. And then this was the other palette released with it. This was the Browns. Also very beautiful. I picked up both of those palettes so I could use them for work. Like I need another neutral palette, but they are really pretty and I do like the formula of Kylie's palettes. The KKW eyeshadow palette, Mrs. West. I don't know why this is on my table. I have not used this in a while, but it is one that I will reach for work. I'll actually mix these 2 shades to make a lighter mauve and then use this little pinky shimmer for work. It's really pretty. One of those nice neutral palettes to travel with for work. Dose of Colors Truffle eyeshadow palette. Also very neutral, beautiful shimmers. Definitely one that I gravitate towards. You can see that I've dug into it a little bit more than just one use. These 2 from ColourPop. This is Glam Right and Bling Time. Glam Right is
beautiful pinks. I actually wore this the other day to work, and then I used this pinky shimmer, mixed it a little bit with the white, very beautiful. And then Bling Time is more of the peachy shades, also really pretty, nice neutral shades for work. The Enchanted Deco Dance from She Glam, one, super affordable. The packaging is super cute with the lace overlay. And then the color story is really pretty. The shimmers are really nice. I did a whole video just recently on this, so I will be keeping this for right now. And then look at the art on the inside. That's so cute. Lucky Penny from ColourPop. This was actually in my drawer of just purchased and need to use, but I think I purchased it last year, which is why it was removed from that drawer. Really pretty, and these lean more orangey toned, so I do want to play around with this. I just haven't had a chance. The Kylie and Wizard of Oz. I just used this palette. Really pretty shades. Blush, highlighter already in here. So this is kind of something that you can take on the go. You've got some neutral shades, you've got the pinky shades, you can gravitate towards the greens. And when you look at this, you have 3 different quad pans that kind of would work together. I probably would have switched the green and the silver, but I mean, you could do whatever you want with this. I certainly played with the burgundies when I used this palette, but I want to play around with it some more. I think I can get some really pretty like green looks with this one. The Huda Beauty Empowered, this palette, absolutely stunning. When you look at a lot of her big palettes, they lean very pink. This one actually leans more like orangey brown tones, which I was so impressed with. The shades in here are stunning. The shimmers, these two are so foiled and buttery smooth. It's just kind of like, I forgot what it's called, but it's like the gold flaking that you put on your nails, which mine are very festive for New Year's. That's what these two remind me of. But this palette is absolutely staying in the collection. The Glam Light Barbie Dream Summer palette. If you need a rainbow palette, this is it. Beautiful blues, beautiful greens, hot pinks, purples, just ooh. And then you have some of these deeper shades to darken them up. Absolutely keeping this. And Glam Light has some beautiful eyeshadows. Troublemaker from ColourPop. I just used this. It took me back to my high school grungy days when, granted, I used eyeliner and lip gloss most of the time. I would definitely, if I was really big into makeup then, would have gravitated towards this color story. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Metals. This palette is really pretty, but if you watch my video, I told you guys why I would not be ordering from Anastasia Beverly Hills directly, because my last 2 palettes from them have had broken eyeshadows. And the last time I reported it, they just stopped emailing me. So I would rather just go into Sephora, get it myself, but the palette itself is really nice. So I am gonna keep it even though it's got broken eyeshadow. Natasha Denona Retro Glam Palette. Ooh, I love these shades. So stunning. I love the shimmers, the greens, the pinky shades. I want to keep using this, especially like the greens. Love this. Nomad Hudson Valley. This was everything for fall. And I love the pressings in it. Nomad has some of the coolest, most interesting eyeshadow palettes. They choose a destination and base the palette around it. It is such a fun idea. And then I think this one, they actually sent a pamphlet with how to like travel the Hudson Valley Trail and experience all of the fallness that you need in your life. So I do want to keep this and play around with some other shades. It's a really pretty palette. The Danessa Myricks Beauty Lightworks Volume, was this 4? The Transcendence palette. I'm really bad with Roman numerals. I talked about how I wouldn't pay the $128 price point for Natasha Denona. I would have also stuck my guns on this if I had not seen this in store and swatched it. These eyeshadows are everything. I didn't end up using Intuition and Aura. Those are kind of like water activated liners, which I need to play around with. These, when I swatched all of them, including these 2 right here, absolutely phenomenal. And this one, I think it's Paradise. One of these 2, I had like a single individual sent to me in a Trend Mood box, which is part of the giveaway in my She Glam holiday video. Stunning. Absolutely stunning, and will absolutely stay in my collection. Okay, this is the last group of palettes. There's so many. Okay, Nabla Side by Side palette. Also, very pretty neutrals. I love the shimmers in here. I'm gonna keep this for right now. I think I got this in a subscription box. Beautiful palette though. Iconic London Day to Slay. This is pretty, but I kept a lot of neutral shades, so I'm gonna pass this one on for right now. Juvia's Place Garden of Juvia's. Oh, look at these pastel shades. The shimmers were stunning, so I'm gonna keep this one. The Sigma Cinderella palette. This collab is stunning. I love the shades in here. And the neutrals are everything for work. I'm gonna keep this one. This is a collab from El Maquillage and Kathleen Lights, and I thought the concept of the stickers where you could just make it your own is super cute. And then the rose gold kind of packaging, very beautiful. It is a predominantly neutral palette with some deeper shades, and then you have these 6 shimmers, which are stunning. So I'm gonna keep that as well. Jeffree Star Jawbreaker. I'm not sure why this isn't in the drawer with everything else. Oh. It's very colorful. I probably pulled this out for Norfolk Pride because I pulled a lot of my color palettes to use that day. Really pretty. Gonna keep it for now. The Jaclyn Dear Mom palette. Really pretty. The neutral shades. I don't know that I need to keep this, but I do really like having neutral palettes on hand, and this is the only eyeshadow palette I have from Jaclyn. So I'm gonna keep this for right now. Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. This palette is super cute, very awkwardly shaped. It doesn't necessarily fit in my drawers. Since my last organized eyeshadow whatever, this hasn't been in there. Now, I keep keeping it because it has some really pretty shades in here. I feel like I have these in other Too Faced palettes, as well as I have them in other palettes from different brands. So I think it's time for me to finally part with this. This is one of the Too Faced holiday releases. This actually has a, I want to say a cheek and like blush and bronzer, blush and highlighter that magnetizes to the front of this. Such cute packaging. And then even on the inside, you can see the design. This has some other shades that have like more colors and everything. So I am going to keep this palette over the Pumpkin Spice. Too Faced Natural Lust. This palette is one of my go-tos for work. This actually used to stay on my table so that I could just grab it real quick for work and do my eyeshadow. So I'm going to keep this as well. And look at the packaging. It is really cute with the peacocks on there. This is last year's Too Faced Christmas release. This was Christmas in London. Really like this because it has the neutral shades, and actually I think it has some of the similar shades from Pumpkin Spice, and then you have the blushes in here. So I'm going to keep this one for now. Okay, this is one of the most unique Christmas releases I've seen from Too Faced. This, I want to say, pulls down. So you've got this color story right here, which is the browns, and then you have a bronzer. You have lighter shades and a highlighter. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. It looks like it's drying up. That's weird. Another highlighter, blush, and then a blush. So you have 2 highlighters, 2 blushes, and a bronzer. So I am going to keep this for right now. I don't know what's going on with the shade Cranberry. But the rest of them, ooh, so cute. Another Too Faced. This was part of a snowman, and I want to say the other 2 pieces of him are bronzer, highlighter, blush. And they all magnetize on top of this. But this color story is really pretty, and then you have the pressed glitter and shimmers in here. The Too Faced Dream Queen. This was actually one of my first videos on my channel. So this has sentimental value, and no matter what, I will not be getting rid of it. It is super cute with the swans on the front of it. You have bronzer, blush, highlighter, and then all the eyeshadows. But I won't be getting rid of it just because it is one of the first videos I had on my channel. Sigma Alice in Wonderland. You guys just saw my tattoo. You know I am a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, so of course I had to purchase this one. This palette is really pretty, and I just had a comment asking me to do another video with this, so I might be reaching for this here in the future. Stay tuned. But it is such a cute package. The Disney Fantasia storybook from One Size, this packaging is actually quite interesting. So you have a big mirror in here, and then you open it up and there's information, as well as you have a really pretty neutral color story. So neutral shades, and then these two are very interesting, like color shifting top coats. You have blush and blush topper. I wouldn't say it's highlighter. It's definitely something to like shimmery blush for on top of your matte blush. But I'm gonna keep this, it's really pretty. I may decide to get rid of it later, but for right now, it's staying in the collection. The NARS Summer Unrated, very neutral, beautiful shades. The shimmers are also really stunning. This red right here is something I want to play around with. I wouldn't say it's the most exciting palette I have in my collection, but I also can't bring myself to get rid of it just quite yet. So it'll stay for now. I'll see if I play around with it some more, but it stays. Kylie palette. This was for, I want to say Valentine's Day. Really pretty shades. These shades I use for work, and then this one, You Up, is a really light pink shimmer. I love the coral and the orange in here. I do want to play around with this some more. Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau. This is the first palette that I had from Anastasia that broke. And this one had two shades that broke, so I had to press both of them back in, but the colors are stunning. Really love this palette. Wander Beauty Wanderous Escape. Love this. The pops of color shimmers are really stunning, and then even the neutral shades that I can wear for work are beautiful. So I need to put this on my table to use more. Oh, I lied earlier. I have two Jaclyn palettes. This is the one Strawberry Feels, very pink toned. The other one is very neutral, so I'm gonna keep this as well. Loved playing with this palette. Okay, this is the Nomad, what is it? Mount Verde, Costa Rica. So I even said when I opened this that I was gonna keep the packaging, the outer carton for it, because it shows the actual definition of the animals on here. There was so much detail that went into the palette, and I like how when you look at the palette you can't really see all the animals, but then with the outer carton it just kind of defines where they're at. And then the color story. Oh, look how phenomenal that is. So bright and vibrant. I definitely want to deep dive into this again. I know I had fun playing with these colors last time. Dose of Colors Friendcation. This stayed on my back table. It would go on every single vacation with me. The neutrals, the pinky shades, this shimmer is stunning. The blues are beautiful. I get so much use out of this palette. I'm keeping it. And look at the packaging. It is so much fun. Beauty Bay Dark Fantasy. First off, 20 colors, $20. It is super affordable. The quality of their eyeshadows is phenomenal. The shimmers, so buttery smooth, and they go on so seamlessly. If you have not tried Beauty Bay eyeshadow palettes yet, you are missing out. Go check them out. This palette is staying in my collection. She Glam Corpse Bride. I love the lace detail on this. And then the color story is a lot of fun. Just cool toned, very blue, gray, what you would expect from a Corpse Bride palette. And super affordable. Kylie Jenner, the reindeer palette. There's not really a name for any of these. But I guess this was supposed to be a holiday release last year, but they just released it this year. I don't know. One of you told me down in the comments. On the inside, you have a mirror, and it's got little cute reindeer antlers. And then the color story is very neutral with light pops of purple and like a gold shimmer. So I'm going to keep this for right now. Bobbi Brown Luxe Eye and Cheek Palette. Yeah. This packaging is everything. I love what looks like a snowflake on here or shattered glass. But you have 6 eyeshadows and then a very beautiful highlighter in here. This I reached for work. Stunning. I'll use these 2 shades. I'll put this one down, and then when I don't have to go to work, I add this on top of it because it's very glittery. For work, it's these 3. But it's a stunning palette, as simple as it is. Revlon and Ashley Graham. This is Tropical Vibes. I have held on to this. I've used it once or twice, but I think I'm going to get rid of it because I just haven't been reaching for it. And even if I did an affordable makeup tutorial, this isn't still available. So I don't see a reason in keeping it, even though it is a really nice palette. I love the bronzer and the highlighter, and then you've got the 8 eyeshadows. Bobbi Brown Love in the Afternoon palette. I have had this for years and I absolutely love it. Very neutral shades. This shimmer, technically on the verge of not being allowed because it's very glittery, but I still will use it for work. The pinky and the brown shades are really pretty. I love this palette. It is quite simple and nice to travel with. ColourPop Hocus Pocus 2. I purchased this and never got around to using it. I was just so busy in October timeframe. So I'm gonna keep it. I'll probably use it for Halloween next year, but ColourPop has some of the most beautiful eyeshadows. And even then, there's some mauvey pink, or there's a mauvey shade in here that I can use. This one looks like it's black. This one looks brown, so I can definitely use it for work. And then this interesting shimmer. Let's see. Ooh, those are stunning. I haven't actually swatched any of the shades this year. I know I did last year, but it takes freaking forever to swatch every single shimmer that I'm in love with. I have these 3 from BH Cosmetics. This one is Do Not Disturb. I ordered the entire collection. I ended up keeping the 3 that I wanted and the rest of them ended up in the giveaway. So this is the blues and purples. Really like that blue shade right there. So I'm gonna keep this and try it out. Let that go. I don't really cuss on my channel. In real life, I do a lot though. Just kind of friendlier, I guess. This has some beautiful greens and browns, and then the shimmers are stunning. I should actually leave this on my table to wear for work, which I'm gonna do. I have an entire stack of neutral palettes for work now to rotate through. Low Key Love You. This is more of like the reds, burgundies, peachy shades. I'm actually quite surprised that I kept this one, but I'll try it out. ColourPop Lock It Down. This is all purpley shades. Actually, that would be perfect for work, as well as that like pinky shimmer. I'm gonna put this on my table. Beauty Bay Golden Age. This was just a 9 color palette released at the holidays last year. Very beautiful neutral palette. Use this for work a lot. Keep this on my table. Orenzai Solomon 2 palette, which I had the hardest time getting it out of its sleeve the first time. I do like the artwork on here. It is really cool. This is a Swedish indie brand. Oh, I can't get rid of it. Look at how beautiful those shades are. Nomad Winter Snow Lodge. Look at that. I had so much fun using this palette. It is really pretty with the blues, the greens. You have some neutral shades. And I love the pressings. Look at the reindeer wearing snow goggles. Then Nomad Feres de Provence. I want to go back to France so bad. Look at this. It is so beautiful. You've got the macarons. You have wine. Just a beautiful palette. The lavender. Stunning. Juvia's Walhalla 2. Look how beautiful that palette is. And I never got a chance to use this when I purchased it back in 2021. I had literally just moved to Virginia. It came in and I was in the middle of moving into my house. Oh, it's stunning. And I want to say this kept selling out. I can see why. It's beautiful. Beauty Bay Love Notes. Another 20 pan. Look at those shades. Beautiful. I love the shimmers in here. Beauty Bay New Mood. Look how stunning those shades are. This shift is actually quite interesting in this light blue. Oh, beautiful. I want to use that hot pink though. All right, so I have both of the Glam White and Michaela palettes, which both have a lot of like fun glitter in there. This is the first one, which is very bright, colorful, beautiful shimmers, just a little bit of something for everyone. And then this is the second one, which is pot 2. Very green, blue, purple. And then these shimmers up here are so beautiful. Okay, Iconic London, Sunset to Sunrise. I didn't realize I had 3 Iconic London palettes. This one is really pretty. A lot of shimmers. Where's the other one? Because I might be getting rid of one of them. I just don't know that these shades speak to me. They're very kind of like toned down compared to some of the other palettes that I have. All right, so this one is Desk to Dance. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep this one over this one. It's pretty, it's just, that's not my favorite. So I'm gonna pass this one on. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is the last palette. This is the Juvia's Culture. Look how stunning and beautiful and just so colorful this is. The shimmers on here are absolutely phenomenal. This one right here, stunning. I have to keep this. Now, it may not seem like I got rid of a lot, but I can tell you that the pile around me seems like a lot. So let's go ahead and count all of them. So we just got rid of these 4.
Oh my goodness, you guys, we got through it, and I can tell you that we got rid of 57 eyeshadow palettes. For me, that is quite a bit that I got rid of, and although I didn't get rid of half of my collection or most of my collection, a lot of those palettes for me are either new or have sentimental value, or I just haven't had the opportunity to use them more frequently. Especially because my daytime job with the military, I have to stay pretty neutral. So when I get home, sometimes I change my makeup, sometimes I don't. And on the weekends is when I definitely get to use those more colorful palettes, those sparkly, shimmery shades. So I'm going to try this year, that is one of my New Year's resolutions, to just cycle through my palettes a little bit more. And like I said, I plan on getting a bookshelf, probably one for each side, so that I can actually see what I have in my collection, because the drawers are so difficult to see what I have and remember what's in my collection without digging everything out. At one point you saw me trying to put stuff back in a drawer and it didn't all fit, and I don't know how I got it in there originally. So we'll see how I change up my storage this year. But you guys, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell for notifications of new videos, and if you like this video, make sure you hit a big thumbs up. And until my next video, you guys, bye. I'll see you in the next one.